Welcome everybody for the Thursday evening 7:30 class. This class we're going to be going over the current games. So we talk about current tournaments, and I chose this one game to show you that we don't have any like big tournaments coming up. We don't have any tournaments right now, some big events. The big event that is going to start in about 2 weeks is going to be the candidates tournament in Russia. That's going to be the big event, and then we're going to have Grandmaster from US, Caruana, number 2 in the world. He will be playing there, and hopefully he can win it again to qualify to the match, World Championship match. So right now there are no like huge tournaments, but I found this game. It's an annual tournament in Russia, in Moscow. They have the youth versus the experienced GMs. So there's a youth is the all Russian youth players. Like this game with white is Grandmaster Esipenko, 2650, and his opponent is a Grandmaster who played for the World Championship match, Boris Gelfand. If you remember, he played against Vishy Anand in 2012, but came short. He lost in tie breaks. But so it's Esipenko is white. His opponent is a very experienced Grandmaster, Boris Gelfand from Israel. C4, C5. First of all, what is the name of this opening? English, perfect. And when black plays c5, oftentimes this is referred to as a symmetrical English. Okay, so he goes here knight f3, knight f6. As you can see, they're copying each other moves. Knight c3, knight c6. So far, we see a complete copying of the moves. Okay, copying the moves here. So now he goes here, d4. Now things are going to get a little bit different. White, Grandmaster Esipenko goes for an aggressive line. Yeah, you can also play something like g3 here, but that would be more a slow build-up type of position, okay? So he goes here, here. Takes, e6. And now g3. The point of g3 is to develop the bishop on g2 and try to castle as soon as possible. Okay? The idea is to go bishop g2 and castle. Queen b6 played by Gelfand immediately, putting pressure on the knight. Knight b3. Well, it's not so easy to defend the knight here because you cannot use your bishop to go to e3 because he's going to take your pawn. Okay? So it's not so easy. And if you take, you don't want to do this because then it's going to give a big center, okay? Sorry. So knight c6 is just going to take back with the pawn. So he goes here. Knight b3. Knight e5 played. Putting pressure on which pawn now? The knight on e5 is attacking c4 pawn, right? Just attacking this pawn, and you have to do something about it. So the move e4 was played, opening up the diagonal for the bishop to defend the c4 pawn. Okay? Bishop g4. Now, what to do? What do you think white should do here? Bishop g2, that's a possibility. But bishop g2, if you go, who will be protecting this pawn here? Who will be protecting that pawn? Nobody, right? So that's going to be taken. So that's why a c5. Queen c6 played. If you take this, I think this just chess space. Yeah, it's this new chess space is just doing, not familiar with it yet. It's just doing something different. I can't show variations that easily. Okay. So take queen c6. Okay.
What happens if he takes?
If he takes
the bishop, then wouldn't, if you take the bishop, wouldn't the knight just be able to make an uneven trade?
okay, I gotta fix this because it's not letting me show variations. Okay, this is all right. So if you take, there is a, if you go knight a4, he has bishop f2 check. Okay. And this is not so good because check and take the knight. If takes, I take. Takes. I think it just, white will play this position because he has extra 2 bishops. And dark squares are weak. It's more like you play for the initiative, castle, bishop e3, f4, e5. Something like that, like this.
So white would not be concerned to be down?
No, you have two strong bishops. You have 2 strong bishops. So Gelfand got queen c6. Now he is threatening to take the pawn on e4. Queen takes e4, for example. Okay. So white goes bishop g2, developing the bishop and hoping to castle soon. But queen a6 played. Queen a6 played, and now the white king cannot castle. Now the white king cannot castle, and we're stuck now because the queen is x-raying this, and you cannot pass your king through that line. Okay. And also there is a threat of knight d3 check out there as well that we have to deal with. Okay. What to do here? What to do here? Let's pause a little bit and try to see. Yes.
Knight b5. If he takes, can you play h4, trapping the queen?
Well, let's first things first. This knight is pinned.
Oh.
First things first. Knight is pinned. You can't move it. All right. We need to do something different. Bishop back? Are we gonna make a draw here? No, we're not gonna. Come on, we're not gonna make a draw here. Yeah, we can do this, but that's just repetition, right? It will be a repetition. I don't think we want to draw. Having the white pieces is an advantage. Remember, advantage. You start again with the, you dictate. You play the first move. So I don't think this guy's gonna do that. What else? What else you can think of here?
I'm not sure it's the best move, but you could move.
Well, actually, I'll tell you this. So c5 here, he played here bishop g2, and now very important move here needed. Active move needed here. Okay? Forget about this knight d3 check threat. It's okay. Just try to do something different. Let him do that check if he really wants to.
His bishop is undefended. Is that
Correct. Yes, it is. It is undefended. But what can you do?
cannot?
You can move the pawn up one on the left rook side.
That doesn't.
Sorry, what's the move?
Yeah, queen's rook pawn.
Queen.
Move up one.
Here?
Sorry, yeah.
This one here?
A3. The rook pawn.
Ah, pawn.
Yes.
Yeah, but check.
Then
Our
you take-
structure is ruined, right? Check. And there's a lot of problems here.
Can you threaten the bishop?
And I'm afraid there are serious problems, you know?
Yeah, go back. The one thing that the other idea I had, like I said, I don't know if this is really the best idea.
Yeah. Something special you need.
There's one response, which is to move the queen one space up and to the right, to block the check, and also to threaten the queen.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, well, that's an idea I had.
Yeah, that might be an okay idea. But the correct idea is?
Bishop D2.
Queen e4.
Queen d4, guys. Queen d4. Activating your pieces, putting pressure, look.
Yeah.
Centralizing your queen. Okay? Centralize. Now he plays d6. Trying to complicate the matters, because if you go here, actually, just goes king d2. There's some problems with this bishop, you know? If you take, I take. I mean, it's just a lot of development already been played, and black is still not developed. This could be a very, very big problem here, okay? So that's why he played the move d6. So you have to take. What else to do? Nothing. And now he goes knight c6, attacking the queen. He probably did not like this because there are ideas like this. Okay, there's knight d3 threat here, but even after castle, it feels like white is better. You know, there's a lot more potential for him. Knights are coming in. This bishop is undeveloped. Maybe some potential f45 even out there. So this is a really, really nice position for white. So he goes knight c6. He's trying to attack the queen. So what to do?
Could. No, that's not gonna work.
Now we have to move the queen, but where?
It doesn't look like you got many good spots.
Well, you got to move it somewhere.
How about just e3?
Well, you don't want to just drop the d4, d6 pawn for no reason, right? So you want to stay with it, okay? Now he goes here. Yeah, if you go up, it's going to be a repetition. But this player, Esipenko, I actually played him. He's a very aggressive young grandmaster, so he's not going to be okay with the draw. He's going to try to push for the push for the maximum. He's going to try to push for the maximum.
Is it a good time to castle?
You can castle. Queen is still guarding it.
Right.
You still cannot castle.
Maybe now you can try A3 to get out of that pin.
Well, look, that knight on e5 is annoying. It's been sitting there for a while now, right? You kind of sort of want to, whenever the position like this, too much tension, you want to resolve this. You want to kind of, move this knight from here because it's been sitting there for a long time. Yep. And if you get lucky, you want to play e5 and cement the position. Then you're winning. So he goes check, obviously. This was expected. And you have only one move here because everything else loses.
D1.
Yeah, because you cannot go to e file and f file because then he just takes your bishop with the check. And you need to resign. So you have to go here. Now, he took. Bishop takes knight. So if you take with the queen, you're gonna run into knight check here. Takes, so you take with this. Knight takes on c1. And now you have choice here. You have 4 different ways you can capture here. 4 different ways you can capture. But which one is the logical and the best? Which one is the logical and the best?
King.
It's either the rook or the king.
I'm sorry?
It's either the rook or the king.
Okay. Well, we got to figure out which one actually. Exactly.
I mean, if I have to choose, I'll go with the rook.
Well, the problem is, you have a pass pawn, and we know that you want to have your rook behind the pass pawn, right?
Yeah.
If you leave your king on d1, you're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
So the choice is, by method of simple elimination, we realize that which one is the best, and the best is king takes c1. Now, obviously, if I play e5, it's just over. I'll be just winning this. So he plays e5 himself to try to open up his light square bishop. Yeah, things get a little complicated, but if you didn't play that, or if you had castle, for example, that would have been very bad. After this, white is just going to win this game. Okay? Because of the protected pass pawn. So e5 a3 goes knight g4. Gelfand goes knight g4, putting pressure on e5. Now he is attacking the pawn, but you have to continue your plan. And our plan was rook d1, right? Get the rook in. He castles. Yeah, 95 looks interesting, but I think there is a queen d5 move very strong. So that's why I didn't want to play 95 here. So we want to castle first. And now I can win some material. How?
D7.
Takes. Because otherwise I go d8. I go further, I get another queen. So he takes.
Can he not put his rook behind the pawn?
Who?
Or wait, yeah.
White put the rook behind
yeah,
him.
when you push the pawn. Penning it?
Check.
Oh, yeah.
Check.
Yeah.
And a mate.
Silly.
Huh?
I thought, no, I was just saying that was a good question.
Yeah, yeah.
Same question.
Now, what to do here? Yeah, because if you give black a couple of moves, 95, bishop e6, he's going to get out, and then this might be a little liability here, you know? This might be a liability here. So we don't want to do that. Ben, do we have any questions from our YouTube audience? How to win material?
We're getting a couple queen f4s.
It's okay. It's okay. Better. Better. Concrete move you have here. You're winning a material. I don't want to say which piece because then it's easy.
D7.
Perfect. Obvious move, you know. Now you say, give me the bishop. So he takes. Yeah, if he goes here, once again, check. Wonderful background checkmate, okay? So he takes. Queen takes. He goes knight e3, hitting the rook. Now he's attacking my rook. I mean, at this point it's pretty clear that white is probably winning. Just they're just tricks, you know, you have to deal with. So one thing you want to do when you're ahead, you want to get the queens off the board. Okay, that's a very important thing to do. Queen d6. So it goes b6. Now just simply move the rook up to defend it. And he played rook a8. I'm wondering why he did not take. Because there's a queen f1 check here. Well, I guess you can't take, but you can. Now, if the idea is just to go king b2 and take. So that's why he plays rook a c8, putting pressure now on c3 pawn. And now very interesting but very concrete play by Grandmaster Esipenko. Let's see if you can see it. Now, which piece you think we can try to activate here? And preferably, we can activate by tempos, right? Tempos are very important in the game of chess. You make a move, you put pressure. Tempos, okay? So what do you do here? Bishop h3, attacking the rook. So it's clear he's going to go check. Now, where do you go here? You want to make sure you avoid putting the king on awkward squares, okay? And you got to think of in the future, you got to get that rook into the game too. That rook that is still sitting on a1. But this game is just so concrete. There is no time to get everything in, you know? b2. Now attacking the rook. And now he checks, thinking, yes, I got the queen. But let's do a little count at the end. Takes, takes, takes. Strong pass pawn on d6. Two minor pieces. Rook, sorry, bishop. Three minor pieces for a queen. And a pawn. So, I mean, essentially, this is just a winning position. Despite losing the queen, you gain a lot of material, so this is just great for you.
That's very hard to see.
Yeah, people would not play king b2. People would be, I don't think people would also give up the c3 pawn, because it's just, they would be like, but you just don't have a comfortable way of defending against this. So that's why play bishop h3, takes, king b2, he play check. Takes, pawn takes, queen a3. Of course, he's going to try to make it as hard as possible for you not to go back. But now, what do? Pass pawns meant to be pushed. Goes here. And we have some piece that hasn't moved yet. And we are on a move 28, okay? That's something we shouldn't do too often, okay? We shouldn't be doing this too often.
It is working hard.
Huh? c1. Because you want to move the king over to d file and start going to c8. Okay? So it goes g6. what to do with this king. Again, you have to be careful because if you make one mistake, then it can get out of hand here a little bit. Rook d5? No, but again, we played this move to be able to get rook on c8, right? So that's you should try to stay with that plan, okay? King d3 to go to c2. Now he plays f5. He's trying to disconnect the defense so he can pick up this pawn. But we're not going to let him do that. We want to keep the d7 pawn because that's a winning pawn here. It's going to queen. So what to do here? He wants to take now. Now he created a threat. He wants to take it. e3. Now he goes queen e7. Now he's pinning and threatening to take this. Now, what can you do here that you don't lose your d7 pawn, because it's a very, very important pawn. Okay. Now he takes check. Now, simply we want to bring our bishop in, right? The bishop did the job, so just come back. And now just need to find the finishing touches here. Three moves and he resigned. Actually, 2 moves. But you should also mention the third move idea. Once he plays king g7, now he wants to take on d7, right? So what can you do to stop that? Rook takes rook, takes. Now it's tricky. You gotta keep protecting the d pawn, and then you have to get a knight on c6 or e6. So you gotta kind of protect this, but at the same time you gotta get a knight there. Rook d5, fantastic, yes. And then there are no more moves. He resigned because your plan is very simple now. He resigned because of what? And now you have knight c6 ideas that will remove the queen and promote the pawn into queen. I think it's a very exciting, fascinating game by young Grandmaster Esipenko to defeat such an experienced player like Boris Gelfand. So, yeah, so that's the youth is taking over. All right, everybody, do you have any questions about this game? So again, if you want to find this game, it's the Esipenko against White against Gelfand. You can just search that, and they just play this game. Okay. we're going to be doing some important endgame positions for you at the end, okay? This one is bishop endgame, white to play and win. It's bishop endgame. We're trying to promote this b pawn into queen, so we're very close, but it's not easy because if you promote, he's going to sacrifice and it's going to be a draw.
Work your bishop sort of diamond.
Yeah, well, that's the only thing you have. So you're gonna go here. If he's not defending accurately, he plays like a regular move, then you're gonna win easily. Because you're gonna bring the bishop where? F2. Now you're gonna get him out of the long diagonal, which is very important factor in this endgames. Now you go away from this diagonal, so he goes here. And now you can just go here, threatening to queen. And if he goes here, bishop d4 deflection. And you win the bishop, or if he takes your bishop, you promote into a queen, and then you give a mate. Okay? But when you play bishop h4, might have crossed your mind, this is the move that you gotta see, because black is gonna keep the king on a6 to prevent you from getting the bishop out to that long diagonal. You have to move his king from the long diagonal to a short one. Okay, so remember, from the this diagonal is too long, so you have to put it in a short one. Okay. And goes here. Well, you're not going to go anywhere else, because anywhere else you're going to go bishop b8, bishop a7, and it says to go here. And now you have to do this next move is very important, because you can promote the pawn is a draw. You can move the king, so it's pretty clear what your next move is. But you have to find the right square for that piece. If you go g1, it's just going to go to g3. You're not going to be able to just... so, yeah, this is not going to do anything, basically. So what to do here? Huh? Close. But there is another square you have to use with your bishop right now, which is important. Yes. Now, king cannot move because you have this bishop a7, bishop b8. So the only thing left is to move the bishop. Now you'll see, now his bishop is not on h2. Now we go back, right? Because we are threatening to play now bishop here and here. So to cover up the position, okay, with bishop d8, bishop c7. So he has to go here to prevent that. Now what do you do?
Do you go to d8 anyways?
Now, if he goes here, then you win because of bishop c7. So he's going to go to c6. Okay? He's going to go to c6. But now, when he's on c6, you have something here. Now, compared to the original position, there is a slight difference. In the original position, his bishop was on h2, which was a better placed piece. But here, it's not. And here, you have an opportunity to do something to win this game. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bishop h4 now, you're attacking this bishop. If he takes, you promote into a queen. So he has to go here.
F2.
Do what?
Bishop F2.
Bishop f2. Perfect. Now he cannot prevent you because you're going to go in there. So you have to go here. What? So we go here. He waits. Here. He waits. Now you go here. Threatening to promote. He goes here. And now
Bishop e3.
no. Takes. A lot of calculation, yeah?
You maybe just
So you have to understand, when you reach this position, every move is critical. This original. So all you did that in the beginning, you did all this maneuvering with the bishop to get the same position with this bishop on g3. And with the bishop on g3, then you win because you have this bishop h4 move comes in with the tempo. Okay?
how did we get the bishop to h3?
So
Did it
here,
dance around the board.
here, well, this just wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the
Bishop.
whole time he's just the black pieces are just
Yeah.
guarding the b8 square, either with the king or the bishop.
Yeah, right here, after his bishop c5 is very important. Let's say you're doing the same thing this way, right? It's not going to work. Now, here, bishop is well placed on d6. Yeah. So that's why after this idea, so bishop f4. Check. You're controlling the d6 square. So the bishop doesn't have this square, so he goes here. Now we go back to the original position, okay? Yeah, I went here. So that's the idea. Bishop c5, bishop e7. Now threatening to go here and here, so he has to go to b8. And show me the finish here. How do we finish it? Yes? How do we finish it?
Me?
Well, somebody.
H4.
No, not yet. Not yet. Check first.
Check.
He has to go here. And now,
Wow. H4.
no, bishop f2. If I go to c6, then we go back to, for which idea? H4. There you go. He goes here. And you go here, threatening bishop b8. Yeah, but eventually you get to the position. It is a little bit dancing around, but you are improving it. You're not just going around in circle. You're improving it and getting to the winning position, okay? Okay, perfect. Excellent job, everybody. Thank you for attending this class. We'll be here next Thursday, okay? Same time.